It's one-on-one brain training that's customized for each child, improving their attention skills, memory, reading, and academic performance. LearningRx helps kids overcome learning obstacles and builds their confidence with each session. Thanks for joining us on Minnesota & Company. I'm your host, Joetta Wright. And joining us now from LearningRx is Marissa Jesko and parent and client of LearningRx, Lindsey Valley. You two, I am so happy that you're here today. This is a great time to start thinking about a space like LearningRx. And I want to know from you, Marissa, what is LearningRx?
Well, LearningRx is a cognitive skills brain training company, and we work with people of all different ages. We help people improve things like working memory, their processing speed, and even their logic and reasoning skills, so that school, but overall life is easier for them.
Okay, that might be a little helpful for me too now that I'm thinking about it. And Lindsey, I want to know what was going on with Mason that led you to LearningRx?
Yeah, Mason was a totally normal kid, and as a young kid he was hyperactive, and when he got into school was when we started having that comparison with other children and starting to realize that he had a little bit more energy than most children and that he may have some troubles focusing. And so we just chalked it up to being a young kid and that he would grow out of it. But as school started to progress was when we started to realize that he wasn't growing out of it maybe as quickly as some other people were.
Got you.
So when we had his conferences and learned that Mason was starting to have to miss out on some free time with the kids to finish schoolwork was when we started to realize that this was more of a problem. And so we wanted to get a head start on it and try and find something to help him right away. And that's when we started doing our research and found LearningRx.
I love that you did that. And what was your experience like going to LearningRx? And I want to know, did Mason enjoy it?
Yes, Mason will tell you his probably his favorite thing was the fact that he got to earn rewards and prizes for all the hard work he did. So he loved it, but he absolutely loved working with his brain trainer, Miss KARE. And the experience was fantastic. The staff allowed us to be the experts of Mason, being his parents, and tell them about him and his struggles, and in turn that allowed them to be experts in what they do and ultimately then tailor what tools they have so that way they could help Mason get the best out of the program that he possibly could.
And what kind of changes have you seen in Mason as a result of LearningRx?
Yes, so the thing we love to joke about is he doesn't fall out of his chair at home. He always fell out of his chair at meal times. It never failed. That doesn't really happen as much anymore. Probably the biggest thing though, he loves to read. He never read beforehand, and to himself at least. He always wanted us to read. And he actually reads chapter books on his own and enjoys it. And the biggest thing, probably the most important thing, is he doesn't miss out on any free time at school anymore, and he's actually getting his work done within a normal range that kids his age are able to do.
I'm really in love with what you just said because I think that is so essential. He is wanting to read. That is exactly what you want to see. Now, Marissa, how is LearningRx able to make this kind of an impact in a student like Mason?
Well, Lindsey said something really important. What we do is completely individualized and tailored to every single student. So the parents come, they share about their child, and of course we learn so much about the child from their initial assessment. And at that time we go to work putting together a customized individual plan for every student. So it's really tailored to you and what you need and where your skills are currently at and where we want them to go.
This is so important, and I'm excited for more kids to experience LearningRx.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Right now, Minnesota & Company viewers can get a special discount on an initial assessment for only $75. LearningRx has 7 Twin Cities locations. For more info, call 952-949-6900 or visit learningrx.com. We'd like to thank LearningRx for sponsoring today's interview.